Ah, shit. This episode of the BRG Podcast has been brought to you by our patrons. Here at BRG, we'd like to thank those patrons who have subscribed and donated. It is because of generosity like yours that makes this show possible.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the BRG Podcast. I am your host, Warp Jester. We welcome you, as always, with my co-host, Kirok.
Hello, everyone.
The wonderful, the polite, the pleasant Canadian. My auntie, my chamber to my chamber. And also having a wonderful and a little bit on the special side special guest, Linz.
Hello.
Hi, Linz.
And there we go. We're getting started off right proper tonight. So anyways, guys, we have a bit of a light podcast in the sense that Bob is sick, so we don't have a rant from him this week, unfortunately. I apologize. And Kirok was busy having a life, so he doesn't have game releases this week, so you're on your own to figure out what's coming out. It's all Kirok's fault, just for the record. But what that does afford us is the ability to not only speed through the speed bits and talk about all the wonderful things that are out there, but also have a good long ongoing bit of chatter about the main topic tonight, which is actually going to be something along the lines of new media under attack from every angle. And we're going to talk about kind of what's going on in the new media realm and get a little more depth and detail to that. And I've got some thoughts and opinions on there. Kirok, I have no idea. He's been too busy playing real world RPG, so I'm not sure. I had a chance to talk with Kirok, getting kind of idea what he's gonna be doing. If you hear noise in the background, that's Cosmic playing Gears of War. So I apologize for the sound. Liz, my dear, before we do go diving into things here, how you been? It's been a while.
Good.
Just good.
We've been,
Anything exciting going on in your life?
We've been doing some, fuck off. We've been doing some,
This is most likely going to be a theme tonight, I think.
We've been doing some things for BRG. We have a new ARC server up and running, an Insurgency server's up and running. We played ARC for about 4 hours today, and Dano and Ruark are still in right now. So
I know Scion was in there hanging out with him at least. So
yeah. It's we enjoyed it. Died a lot, but
so
some good things going on.
We have the Minecraft server. And now we've got an ARC, right? Modern Minecraft. We have a ARC server.
Yes.
And then we have
a vanilla adventure series happening.
Right. But that's not so much a post for everybody to pile in on. That's more of a series you're doing.
There's a bunch of different maps, bunch of different people, ongoing storyline, but people can jump in and leave as they wish.
We'll talk about that more in the wrap-up, too, because I want to hear about what you guys have been up to there. But do we have anything else going on with BRG itself? Because I thought we had a third server. Some other pew-pew...
Insurgency?
That one.
Yeah, we have an Insurgency server just set up as well. We haven't had an event yet for that one.
So now you can shoot your friends in BRG, you can eat by dinosaurs in BRG, or you can...
in Insurgency, you shoot brown people, and the only reason I put it like that before... Let me explain. Hold on.
Well, great. Now we're not going to get Coca-Cola as a sponsor. Fan-fucking-tastic.
The only reason that I say it like that is because we realized as we started to look through our past videos that all Insurgency videos are not advertiser friendly. And we figure that it's probably because game is set in the Middle East and you shoot, insurgents.
It's kind of a hot topic right now, or a taboo topic, certainly. Yeah, we like pushing envelopes. Well, to that point, like I said, we're going to be talking about new media in general. And new media is something that's near and dear to our heart because BRG is a gaming community. It's a new media community. Many of us, if not damn near all of us, either do live streaming, do YouTube videos, or usually end up on other people's content quite often. Yeah. I think Fiesta's starting to get a bit of to be a known entity on many of our channels. Yeah. But anyway, so we'll definitely talk more about that here tonight. I'm looking forward to that. And I guess to that end, I guess we'll just go ahead and dive on into it. All right, guys, we're gonna dive right into the speedy bits. And top of the hour here, we're talking about how Microsoft follows Valve down the road of refunds on digital purchases. So for those of you who don't know, Valve has the policy of doing refunds for video games that have a limited amount of play time or a limited amount of ownership. In this particular case, I believe Microsoft is following 1-for-1, which is if you own the game for less than 14 days and you've put less than 2 hours worth of gameplay into the game, you can still refund the game for full purchase price. You would think that this would be a a very straightforward and wonderful thing. However, there is a lot of pushback. Many devs are noting that a lot of games can have a large portion of the content played through in 2 hours. Or if you really push a lot of games, you need through a good portion of the content, which, I mean, that might be a good topic for a later date, but, I mean, I don't think the point of purchasing a game is to speed run as fast as you can and then return it. Just saying.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's a little rumor that Nintendo may be releasing the Super NES as early as the 2017 holiday season.
Super
Yay,
NES.
I guess.
The mini. They've already released the mini NES,
Yes.
and now we're going for the mini Super NES because I just refuse to say SNES.
Yeah,
So,
no,
yeah.
I agree. That's awesome, actually. That's really cool. I see a pattern.
I wasn't a fan of the SNES, so. God damn it, I did it again.
Polygon reports that Activision confirms the next Call of Duty will be set in World War II. So they did announce that it will be set in World War II, and they also announced that next week, probably a few days after you see this podcast air, they're going to have a special stream where they go into more detail about it. They did not mention specific platforms, so what platforms it'll be available on, and they did not mention a specific release date. So I imagine those are the things that we'll see coming up next week sometime. I'm actually for this because the World War II horse was just beaten to death. Then all those game developers kind of abandoned it, moved on to other things, and now I think it's been enough time that they can go back to it, which I think would be cool. I'll get it. I'm not a fan of doing the multiplayer shooter thing, but if it has a good campaign mode, I'm there. I'm gonna listen.
I think it's still beat to death. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, it's been a while. So the last time there was something that was World War II was what, on 360 gen, or before?
I don't console. I don't know.
Yeah, but still,
Screw you and your
way
consoles.
Now, so.
For me, it's PC or VR. Actually, speaking of VR, there's an interesting article from IC that talks about the legality of augmented reality and just the potentials that augmented reality can push in terms of IP or trademark. And this is a little bit interesting to me just because they're basically stating that a couple of things are going to come up, first of all, and this is kind of a duh to me, but it's the fact that they have a lot more information about you than is traditional. Most games, even if you fill out information, they might know who your name is, when your birthday was, etc. This is a game that's going with you places, literally, or software, even if it's not a game, so it knows where you are too. But the other interesting idea and kind of thought process to the legality is the legality of overlaying content over physical objects. You're going to the park, you see a statue. Even think in terms of you're walking down Main Street and on the wall in your AR goggles, you see a banner ad down the side of a wall. Well, that could be the wall for, a major superstore like Walmart, and you've got a Target commercial playing down the side of their wall.
Right.
What's the legality of this all of a sudden? So it's a very interesting topic. The article's not too in-depth, but it's something that I do want to keep an eye out for because this could be a big deal. I think AR is going to start cropping up a lot more, and I think we'll have kind of the next gen of what is Google Glass basically start to come about the next couple of years. So it'll be interesting to see how this gets handled.
All right. Yeah, that is interesting. I'm
glad you agree.
I thought I had something to say, and then I realized that I didn't. The Entertainment Software Association, by the way, moving on, has just released its annual report, and 74% of video game sales are made digitally, according to their report. Wow. So this includes, obviously, Steam services like Xbox Live, the PlayStation Store, things like that. Right. It also, though, includes mobile app downloads. Which I really cannot stand it when mobile app downloads are included in video game sales, but it does include mobile app downloads.
Are you talking about mobile app downloads or mobile app game downloads? Because it is technically game sales.
Technically games, but if it's the Britney Spears dress up kind of okay. Anyway,
oh, that's a good one.
It's technically a game.
Go change your Depends.
Look, in 2016, we sold $30.4 billion in, games and VR content and blah, blah, blah. It's a 74% increase since 2010. And apparently 74% of that is digital.
Yeah, basically games have really just, they've become a very popular thing. And companies are growing leaps and bounds, and digital is a predominant method that I get my games through.
I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind
of.
And
even if not PC, if you're console, you're still apparently getting them digitally on their
digital
stores,
content,
so.
mobile digital content. As a matter of fact, there's an article from the Globe and Mail that actually talks about while there's actually a lot of companies are starting to actually invest more in game companies, specifically for like what Liz is pointing out. Is these games are growing quickly. Now, this particular article tends to imply that there's an economic phenomenon where there's more 20-something males unemployed, and the result of that is those unemployed males tend to spend a lot of their times, shockingly, playing video games. You know what? I've seen plenty enough articles and actual stats to show that it's not just the 20-somethings that are playing more games. It's the fact that everybody into their 60s is playing more games. I mean, hell, my mother-in-law is 70-something, and she's spent a good chunk of her morning playing Peggle, But it's interesting, and some of the stats they have, for example, Electronic Arts, for instance, has generated a 443% cumulative return over the past 5 years. It's a 40.2% annual increase, and that's followed closely by Activision Blizzard. This climbed 32.3%, and Ubisoft this climbed 48.5%. Wow. And Ubisoft's actually there's some recent news that just came in that said Ubisoft is just the silent juggernaut that's just coming out of nowhere, and taking up big names and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, right now, investments in these companies is a very ideal thing because they really are growing. They're growing consistently and dramatically.
They're, I imagine a good part of that is digital downloads. Not only that, DLC. Not only that.
Yep.
What's that word? The one we don't.
Gambling. No, wait.
No, not that one. The one where you make purchases online through your games.
In-game purchases.
In-game purchases. There you go. Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
we're gonna take a break. Be right back after Kirok Danica get some meds in them.
this coming May, Friday the 13th, the game as a digital download launches. So there's a good example right there. This is reported by Polygon. We actually did mention this in a previous episode. We kind of brought it up, showing that this game was coming out eventually. And it's pretty cool in the sense that if you like that old Friday the 13th, Halloween kind of horror genre, you'd go to the movies just to get your wit scared out of you. It's probably the game for you. It's going to be a gory game. It's going to be a cat and mouse type game. In the article they say kind of like a hide and seek type game based on the Friday the 13th series, and they've specifically stated that it'll be out May 26th, which is cool. It's coming out for PS4, PC, and Xbox One, and I mean, for those of you who like that kind of genre, this looks like the kind of game that you would enjoy. In fact, I watched the video, and there's just over the top gruesome kills in it. Just like the movie.
I remember us talking about this and the kill scenes are just.
Yeah.
So
I'm in.
Yeah. All right. A couple more things here real quick. One, a totally legit school note says the 7-year-old should be playing more video games. This is fantastic. So
why aren't I 7?
So Reddit user and mother, Electric Blue, shared this photo of a totally legit note from school from encouraging the mother to let him stay up late and play more video games. It will help his school. While the mother was able to quickly identify this as an obvious fraud, she did reward her son for the creative attempt with extended video game time. To put it very simply, son done showed some fucking balls and mom gave him a pass on it.
That's awesome.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Creative. Guys,
yeah.
I need to tell you something very serious.
What's that?
They're going to run another season of the X-Files.
Say what?
Yeah. Another season. You know how it was gone for a long time, and then last year we got a season, and then it was pretty okay, and they're going to do it again. I'm just saying. If you saw the ending of last season,
No.
I'm an X-Files fan, by the way.
Okay.
But anybody watching who saw the ending of the last season that they ran will know that this is a good thing. This is I think the ending was basically like, fuck you, let us run another season.
It's X-Files, I'm sorry.
I never really followed it, but good. It's a good series. Every episode I caught, I really liked. So
I grew up with the X-Files. It's part of me.
Okay. Anyways, that's our Speed Bits for tonight. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you have any questions about these type of things, go Google them. All right, guys. So for our main topic tonight, we're gonna be talking about the attack on new media, and I do give this a little bit of tongue in cheek. I'm not really fanatic in either sense in terms of caring or not caring. This does affect me in some ways. Maybe not in the way you think. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But I want to go through. I want to break it down to kind of some different segments here in terms of the different avenues things are kind of being attacked, if you will. So to start with, we're going to talk about the new media versus game devs, and there's a couple things here. The first article I have up has to do with Atlas threatens Persona 5 streamers from basically showing too much or going too far into the game. They had very, very specific parameters on how much you could stream at any one time, how far into the game you could stream, and so on. And this got met, of course, rather negatively by a lot of the streamers as well as a lot of the public in general. A lot of people streamed right through that limitation, basically gave them a big giant proverbial fuck you and kept going with it. But one of the comments that they made in their statement about what people were allowed to do is breaking these rules can result in the risk of being sued for content ID claims, or worse, having a channel strike, having your account suspended. And they said, we put it in such a tone that was like
flag, a strike.
Yeah, strike. It was one of those, if you do this, we will come down here with a ban hammer kind of a thing. It's just, to me, it's kind of a dick move. I mean, my take on it personally is streamers are out there promoting your content. People are going to watch these games, be interested in them. And yes, there are a percentage of people, like myself, I might note, that are kind of armchair RPG people. I really am not going to pick this game up or Final Fantasy or any other game and play it myself. I'm just not. Kirok obviously is not that kind of person.
Well, look, it's still in the wrapper. Once I read that, I was like, okay, I don't know if I even want to play this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. And so, okay, to that point, though, Kirok, I mean, it seems to have left somewhat of a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah, a little, yeah. Because, like, part of me is, I played the Persona 4 series, so because I like that, that's what kind of made me go, okay, you know what, I really want to get this game and see what it's all about. It's been getting decent reviews, but then this happened, and it's like, oh, I can't even share it with people who, well, I haven't streamed in a while, but those people who watched me stream, I can't even share it with them if I wanted to.
Well, so let's be honest here. I mean, in true candidness, when you got the game, did you buy the game with the intent of, hey, this looks like something fun I want to sit down and enjoy, or did you buy the game with the intent of, I might actually use this as some of the content for my channels?
The truth would be that I probably bought it more. I brought it more for me to play and enjoy.
Okay.
But the fact that this came out, it was like, well, I mean, now it really ties my hands. I don't have that flexibility.
Yeah, I mean, you can still play to enjoy it, but you can't do much more with it.
I think the line the line that they crossed was when they said channel strike, because we're used to, you know, as who create videos for YouTube, we're used to some developers not liking their games to be played. Square Enix is always going to be a problem. Nintendo's always going to be a problem. And we know that those are going to get claimed, and we know that we can't monetize that. But channel strike was the line that they crossed in that statement that really made it. And I, you know, as the developer, Persona 5, I haven't played the series, but from what I understand of it, it is very extremely story driven. And I know that they probably feel like they put a lot of work into, you know, these story arcs that come after this 7/7 date. I don't know that it's realistic for them to ask people not to stream or put them on YouTube, but if they wanted to content ID them, that would have been fine, in my opinion. Would have been fine.
That's an interesting point, and in all honesty, I haven't thought about it because, yeah, I think in terms of streaming gameplay, and I always think it's like, well, if this is going to be kind of spoilers to the game, tricks to get through the game, seeing the end boss fights, my always thought is, I don't fucking care, because if you don't want to spoil it for yourself, don't watch it.
Don't watch.
You know, it is like somebody's like, you know, I'm playing Tetris. Oh, let me watch that for a while. Oh my God, end boss. Oh, you know, I mean, it's not the end. But Lindsay brings up a good point here. There are a lot of games out there that have notably gone through kind of a transition to be more of a storyline, story-driven. I mean, it literally almost is a movie in a sense that's kind of interactive.
Yeah.
And to that end, it might ruin the experience for somebody who's watching it, which, again, I think it's their own damn fault. But it might potentially bring in less revenue for them. People might not be as inclined to personally play it, just so they can see the content through. I don't know.
A lot of viewers love to watch before they buy too. Some people don't go out and buy games willy-nilly.
Yeah,
that's why I say, you know, the content ID claim is expected. The channel strike is the line, I feel like.
Yeah, and
where they really turn people off.
And how much longer, or how long would that go for? Like, if I keep this in the wrapper for 4 years and then I play it, are they going to hunt me down?
Where's the spoiler line, basically?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know, it's a good point. I guess, you know, in games like Fallout, I think it's ridiculous to have a concept like this come about, because I could watch one streamer and his gameplay through the entire thing from end to end is going to be very different from another streamer. So there's that. But some of these games, I'm assuming, like this one, I haven't played this saga before, I have no idea, is a little more funneled. It really is kind of a carried through thing from what I understand. So you don't have that kind of variance. If I watch Kirok stream, I'm not going to go watch Lynn stream it, because I've seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so there is that possibility. So to that end, okay, I can see two sides of the coin here, but I agree with Linz completely. Just out and out stating we will throw strikes on your ass in a heartbeat if you do this, you break our rules, I think is a very, very piss poor idea. And I mean, anybody in the marketing department is probably going, oh shit balls, what the fuck are they thinking? Because it's bad publicity all around.
Yeah.
How it's actually going to impact their bottom line, I have no idea. But if you have a consistent phenom with this, you're going to start seeing an impact possibly. People are going to want to stream your content or do game playthroughs of your content less, and that can have an effect. This guy goes into the whole realm of where does new media sit in this whole world of advertisement, promotion. What is the value of a streamer? Does it matter that they're pissing us off? Do they give a shit? I don't know. I think this is where we're coming to a really big line. This is why I want to bring this topic up, because it is a big deal that there is a lot more of this type of content, and a lot more time is spent with eyeballs on this kind of content. So there's something there. What the actual impact is, this is what's going to be remain to be seen, and this is what I'm kind of curious about. Now, just kind of a little side thing on the topic of whole new media versus devs in this world. There was an interesting little back and forth regarding Horizon Zero Dawn and Kotaku. Kotaku had done a really nifty article talking about Horizon Zero Dawn and how they do so well with their graphics. And one of the tricks that they talk about is called frustum culling. I think I'm saying that right. But basically, it's okay. You see in the little example image here, it's only rendering the game where the viewer can see. So whatever direction you're facing, that's the part of the world it renders. It doesn't waste CPU and GPU time rendering the rest of it. That seems kind of like an duh thing to me, but it makes sense, and this helps a lot because now you can put a lot more build and detail into what you're looking at because you're only rendering that bit of it. And Kotaku did a really neat, interesting article about this, talking about this thing. Now, you can read this article and interpret it yourself how they positioned it. Some people are saying that they made this sound like oh my god, this is a revolutionary thing. It's amazing. They've been doing this for
reading about that.
Damn near a decade. I mean, it's nothing new in that regard. But it was really interesting, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know about this concept until I read this article. So this was news to me in that sense. I'm ignorant of game design from the mechanical standpoint, from the back end. So this was interesting. Now, what ended up happening was a couple of devs got onto the Twitters, and they started making comments about kind of implying that Kotaku had no idea how game engines ran or how games were created, and started kind of ribbing Kotaku for this. And of all things, Polygon jumped into the mix and made an article of this whole situation about that article.
Of course they did. Of course they did.
Of course they did. And it kind of, I would almost dare say, try to hype up the issue a little more than it really was. It was literally a couple of tweets from a couple of devs poking some fun. I'll be honest with you, what they said in their tweets, they were kind of, you're kind of stupid or whatever. But, again, if you already know about this, if you're a dev and you work with this is very duh. But for a lot of us naive people to the back end world, this was enlightening. It helps us understand how games are created. So honestly, guys, I mean, save your tweets a little bit or think twice before you tweet, because that was kind of a dick move in a way. I'm sorry, it was. The article wasn't meant for you guys. They're in the dev world. That's all it boils down to. But yeah, they're probably going to try to kind of hype it up a little bit. So I don't know. This is the kind of back and forth you're dealing with in the new media realm. This is two different things. This is new media in terms of game dev, game design, and new media in the realm of the reporting, the internet-only news sites you go to. And when these start going at odds with each other, especially for a gaming website, this is a problem. Because, again, these should be two things that are together that, work harmoniously in terms of you create the content, we promote the content. It's basically kind of what it boils down to in that sense. So when these don't get along, shit, where's the future for us? Anyways, switch gears here. This is more of a quick, interesting thing, but I want to bring this up real quick. So from VG 24/7, they picked up this article. Basically, this is actually a video post from a German streamer. I'm not going to bother playing it because I don't speak German, and why bother? Basically, the synopsis of this is for some strange reason, just recently, German regulators decided that anybody who is streaming Twitch content or YouTube content is effectively considered a broadcaster. It's akin to a radio broadcast, and therefore they must pay for a broadcasting license.
So is this an actual thing now?
Did
they
Germany.
went ahead with it?
In Germany. God. And here's the thing that's killing me. This is actually enacting at the end of this month. They have to either get their license. These licenses range from a few $100s to a few $1,000s. This is how kind of nutso this is. And I didn't have time to really find the particular details I was looking for, which was what sparked this to all of a sudden be enacted or enforced. I'm not really sure. The thing that go even further really kind of pisses me off is that there are actually people in the regulatory system saying, we understand that these laws are outdated and don't really fit this situation very well, but them Germans, hey, the law's the law. We got to enforce it by the letter. So sorry guys, you have to get a broadcasting license. I'm absolutely stymied on this. I don't even know where to begin with it. Short of, I'm sorry. The licenses are anywhere between 1,000 and 10,000 pounds. So
it even says depends on the size of the audience and other factors.
Yeah, I mean, what factors are, I'm not really sure, but basically they're trying to equate this new medium to an old architecture, and they're actually going after these individuals as basically as if they're their own broadcast studio. And I'm sorry, but this makes no sense to me. If you want to have somebody obligated to pay for a license, go to Amazon and say, hey, you need a 10,000 euro license so that all of your bevy of streamers can stream. Because that makes sense to me. You go to the BBC and you say you're a broadcaster, you pay a broadcast fee. You don't go to the actor on the stage. You don't go to Doctor Who and say, hey, pay up, bucko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, give me a fucking break.
That is terrible.
And especially even we got people in their own division saying, yeah, this doesn't really make sense, but, hey, the law's the law. It's like, then put a pause on it. Review it. Adjust it as necessary.
Yeah.
I gotta wonder. I don't want to go into conspiracy theories, but I gotta wonder if there's something on the back end that's forcing this to try to screw people over. Is old media coming after new media?
This is gonna basically shut down a whole bunch of channels. People who can't do this, who can't afford it.
Yep.
Like, is that their end goal? Is that what they're hoping to do? Well, not that but
it's definitely going to be the end result for sure.
Yeah.
Is this what they're trying to do? I don't know. I mean, this is a conspiracy theory about somebody nefariously trying to shut these rascals down. I don't know. So I mean, I don't know, guys. What if tomorrow the FCC goes, hey, yeah, we're gonna have to go ahead and have you start paying fees for your YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's.
Granted, hypothetical and not going to happen. And then before anybody starts replying with, "Oh my God," the FCC is going to have nothing to do with us because we're not broadcasting. I understand, but the point is, if some regulatory body comes up, blows the dust off some old regulation, and then after this much time goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, no, try again. Give me a break." So yeah, it's odd. I'm a little off on that. So let me switch gears here
I
again,
can't
guys.
believe it, but yeah.
I can't either. I'm at a loss. So let's dive into some real groovy, I guess say meat and potatoes of the whole, new media versus old media. So to give you a little background, there was a while back there was a whole PewDiePie thing we reported on where he paid some guys to hold up signs of death to all Jews, and
Yep, I remember
that went very wildly wrong. But what comes of this is this whole aspect about the Wall Street Journal versus PewDiePie. So if you guys didn't quite catch up on that, the Wall Street Journal kind of got, in my opinion, got it wrong in terms of they separated the point of what he was trying to say with the act he used as the engine to state
make
it.
the point, right?
What PewDiePie decided to use as that engine was piss poor in poor form, in my opinion. I will grant that. But the fact of the matter is they disconnect the point he's trying to make and just analyze what he did and then browbeat him for it. And then they start to dive into the whole implication of, and this is what people are buying advertisement for nowadays, and oh my God. And it really, if you read the whole article from Wall Street Journal, it really felt like they used as a nice little shoe wedge to get in the door to start just bashing all over new media as a whole when it comes to a source for advertisement revenue. And that's I think has really kind of extended now into a lot of new things popping up. And I don't know if it's necessarily new, if large corporations are waking up now because of this PewDiePie incident, if it's just coincidence happened to happen, or if this has been happening and now news sites are just starting to see it. But a lot of big companies now are pulling back or just flat out pulling their advertising revenue in new media markets, especially YouTube, most notably. Companies like AT&T, Verizon, Coca-Cola, Starbucks, Dish, Walmart. Walmart is like the embodiment of evil. Why would they think that YouTube is now all of a sudden too evil is beyond me. I'm the devil going, I ain't stepping in that shit. What the fuck? But they have these. There's been kind of a major fallout with advertisements in the new media market. I don't know about you guys. I don't advertise on my channel. I'm a small potatoes kind of thing, so I'm outside the reach of this in that effect. This includes a podcast as well. We have Patreon. That's about it. But what do you guys have any input on? Does this affect you in some way, either directly or indirectly?
Does the boycott affect me? No. Not Quite Nerds doesn't really do much of anything on YouTube anymore, and we're not big enough to see an effect. Though I know that larger channels will. There's basically not enough advertising to go around at this point.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with you.
Pulling out.
Well, there's a video here from Generic B, who he made his way via Minecraft. There's a lot of other video content he's part of, or has been in the past part of the Minecraft crew. He is a full-time YouTuber, and I encourage you to actually go watch this video and get his input on it. I will be so bold as to say this boycott does affect me, in that a lot of these people I watch, I don't want to see them go offline.
Right. Exactly.
I don't want to see them. I want to see them. I want to see them have that dream of making it big in YouTube and, being celebrities of sorts in that sense, and being able to live off of it. And I think it's important for us to remember that, as it may not affect us directly, but it can indirectly. There is a lot of YouTube content out there that I watch, like dash cam crash videos, or some really nifty how-to videos and whatnot. And quite frankly, while a lot of those are just a passion of popularity, I just want to get my video out there so people can laugh, or maybe be that one lucky guy that gets 1,000 views, 10,000 views, 1 million views. But there are a lot of people out there that are doing this kind of content avidly because it is a paycheck for them. And the fact of the matter is you pull out the funding for this, you pull out a lot of that content. You're not going to have the variety. You're not going to have the 45 different dash cam crash video channels anymore to watch. I'm real lost there, but hey.
I think one of the...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think one of the biggest problems right now is where to assign the responsibility of resolving the conflict. Because when this first started to break, it was very anti-YouTube. It was very, oh no, YouTube is demonetizing videos left and right, and this whole ad-friendly content thing doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work. The system doesn't work. The algorithm is broken. But then at the same time, when you have the majority of your ad revenue companies saying we're pulling out and we're not going to do anything until you fix something, then YouTube is obligated to respond in some way. And under that kind of pressure, I don't think that there hasn't been much of an opportunity for a better response other than, okay, well, let's just start demonetizing crap that may or may not be ad friendly.
Which is exactly what they did.
Yes,
Yep.
That is exactly what they did. And I don't know that they had much of an option at that point. When, when everyone said, all right, that's it, we're pulling out, in order to get these creators that you're talking about paid, they have to make these advertisers that pulled out happy somehow.
Absolutely, and that's a really good point. And to that point, they have the article from The Verge talking about that YouTube will no longer allow creators that make money until they reach at least 10,000 views.
Of views, lifetime
Now,
views.
This is an interesting and seemingly arbitrary thing in some ways. But let's break it down from here. So we're talking about literally from here on forward. As a content creator, you can't even apply for monetization on your videos until you have at least 10,000 views. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong here, but the way this is interpreted is me as a content provider needs to reach that 10,000 view marker in general. This is not like every single video has to 10,000 before we'll start monetizing on the video. Now, this can come in two extreme ways and everything in between. I have the next like crazy popular Gundam style video that I put up, or skateboarding cat video, and that thing goes viral and gets millions of views. Right there, my channel instantly hit that 10,000 view mark. Yep. I can monetize anything. The other extreme end of it is I create good solid content for a podcast at 20 views a week. And at some point years from now, that's going to accumulate to 10,000 views. And I can start monetizing my channel.
Right.
Is this the right way to address this?
It's a way.
Yeah.
But the problem is they're considering most controversial topics to be not ad friendly. And the controversial topics are what's getting a lot of the views right now. So it's kind of almost works against itself.
So, but if I put like, me kicking kittens on BRG's channel, and I get like a bazillion views because oh my god, is a horrible person for doing this, doesn't that technically put us over our 10,000 views?
It does. Yeah. It does. And then you're eligible to apply for monetization so that video can then be demonetized for non-ad friendly content.
But then all the other videos I put out on this channel will then be monetizable.
I think that there's, I think that is right. You got a point there. All of the videos with you not kicking kittens would then be ad friendly.
Video of shaking my booty. I'll get some views.
That's not going to get any views. So
I'll watch.
That'll get one view.
Wow.
No, I think there's a larger issue though, in that I understand that these advertisers have some cause for legitimate concern, but I think most of it is just that they don't know what their ad bumping against, and they don't know how to know that.
Yeah.
When in reality, if they would take a step back and use their brain for a moment, they would realize that, hey, Coca-Cola, if your ad happens to play on, for the first 5 seconds of a video that turns out to be some deep woods, gator country racist video, no one watching that video is necessarily going to say, Coca-Cola supports racism. I know because it played before this racist video. Ergo, I've made the conclusion that Coca-Cola supports racism. That doesn't make any sense.
But even to that point, though,
But sometimes, you know, the saying "guilty by association."
Yeah.
Right.
I know that's the advertiser concern right now. But I think that this is part of a larger scale problem in our society right now. This oversensitivity to everything.
Yes. Agreed.
That started.
I agree.
How about the lack of logic? Honest to God, you know what? The people that here's a problem. This is a problem that might be ignorance of new media. But for everybody I've ever talked to about this problem, every single one of them has some understanding about the fact that there are umpteen gazillion effing videos going up onto YouTube every hour.
Yeah.
They can't adequately vet all these videos with any kind of real simplicity without automation. That's always going to work reliably. And as such, a lot of the stuff is connected automatically through robots to connect this person advertising and this person's video. And just because they can connect it like that doesn't mean I automatically endorse whatever's on this video.
Right, exactly.
People need to fucking understand that if I see, you know, a billboard as I'm driving by and there's a hooker at the bottom of the billboard looking for a good time, that billboard is not, you know, that law firm is not promoting hookers.
Right. You know, if Pepsi runs an ad on Mr. Robot, that doesn't mean that Pepsi supports hackers. It's just you.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just stumbling.
No, like to me, I'm thinking, wait a second, this isn't anything new. Television, it's been around forever.
Right.
But like, did I watch? I know I didn't watch Baywatch.
So, but television is actually a different dynamic. It was very specific.
But that still, there are advertisements on shows. What if the show has killing in it?
Coca-Cola would go to these channels and say, we want our product added in the middle of this show, or we want product placement. When what's her face with the giant balloons is taking a drink in her swimsuit, we want to make sure it's a Coke can. You know, they're very specific with that. YouTube isn't that. This is new media. This is a whole new frame of matching content and advertisement. And you can't, I mean, anybody who's dumb enough to realize that the pre-reel to your video has any association to that video is nonsense.
Right. It's sacrificing what was a good marketing strategy for this politically correct wave that has taken over society.
Well, here's another thing. If that backwater freaking redneck video is popular, they probably drink Coke too.
I was gonna say. I'm just saying.
Start
a channel. I'll start saying racist stuff and sexist stuff, but I'll hold Coke cans in it. I'll hold Nike T-shirts in it. Like I'll do a video and do product placement.
Gaming has no affiliation to Coca-Cola products.
Yeah, I don't know how Coca-Cola became the example.
It's my favorite. It is my drink of choice. I'm not personally endorsing them because I hear that they kill lambs, but
I prefer it over
Amazon,
Pepsi.
Microsoft.
I do. We're not endorsing it. They're not giving us ad money for it. If we happen to see a Coca-Cola video before this video, it's not our fault. We don't have monetization turned on, so check your settings. I don't know. No, but seriously, but this is the thing. Is this is a very different dynamic, and to the point of this, you know, putting the brakes on 10,000 videos or more before you're allowed, or 10,000 views or more, is a very slapdash stopgap, and that's exactly what it is. I mean, we've already given examples of how you could easily end around this content, and I wonder how this would apply to partner channels where you have a umbrella that you just feed everybody stuff into. Basically, you know, hey, BRG is now going to have all of content for ADF Toxic and Not Quite Nerds and Travis and all of these coming onto our channel only. You know, how does that happen? How does that work? Well, technically it's one channel, so we can do that. So there's a lot of ways around it. I think there's going to be a more in-depth way to address this. And as Lynn's pointed out, Google is going to have to address this. They have to. They've kind of been forced against the wall, and they realize now, we can't just keep fucking around.
it sucks that they have to. It sucks that we're at this place in society where, this attitude is taken over. But unfortunately, they do. If they don't address it, then they're stuck with not being able to pay people that create videos for the site.
Here's the thing. I've been part of like small startups. I've sat out back on a Friday, every Friday, drinking beers with the CEO, having hot dogs and barbecue. And as the company grows, we get hundreds of people instead of tens of people. HR comes in. You can't do that anymore. It's just the way things are. And this is a bigger example of that, but it is the way it is. But nonetheless, there's a lot of really interesting elements here. I'll be curious to see where this goes. My biggest concern is to try to minimize the unnecessary cost in terms of losing good content artists like Generic B.
Damage.
Yeah. In the interim between the two before we find that happy balance. So I hope we can get there. I'd be interested to know what your guys' views are on this. This is one of those topics I definitely want to get feedback, and if we do, we'll try to bring it on a follow-up podcast where we talk about it a little more. These are also the kind of topics I'd love to bring up a lot more because, we're running out of time here, but I could talk about this a lot more and have a lot more opinion on it. What I'd like to be able to do is spend some more time on it. So we might be spinning off a once monthly type show where we do these type of topics in depth and just this, nothing else. Those are some ideas that may be coming down the pipe. But anyways, if you guys have thoughts, curiosities, and interests in this, please feel free to reply back to, comment down below here or head on over to the BRG's website and comment there if you'd like, because we'd love to get some feedback to bring up on here. And we're going to wrap this up, guys. But thank you so much for talking on this because it's an interesting topic. So what's up with you, Linz? Like, you don't talk to me anymore. I'm a little hurt.
You're never around.
Bullshit. That is the hottest wet mess of bullshit I've seen in a while. I'm always on Discord.
All right. If you want me to tell you the truth, you can't put it in the outtakes.
Being nice. I'm not recording shit because Linz asked me not to. All right. And 3. 2. What? Oh, God. Taco Bravo, baby. Oh.